All right, don't ever be afraid to go back and look at your logos and see if they need any corrections or if they don't quite look like the objects you are portraying, and they can be misconstrued as something else. You know, if that doesn't look like a dragon or this doesn't look like an S quite, the S might get lost here. So you'll need to go back and redo those because you want your logo to be readable and understandable. Um, so, for example, I think this needs a little bit more work to look like a leaf on a little twig here at the end of the S. So, what I'm going to do is there's a number of ways that I can fix this, but I think I'll go the Pathfinder route. I'll draw a shape on top and then cut that shape out of the back shape. So, I'll take my pen tool, zoom in closely, so that this is easy to draw, easier to draw. But before I do that, let me lengthen this. Out a little bit. Okay, it's kind of a stubby little leaf. So I'll take this pen tool and draw something like a negative shape here that fits over to cut out something that kind of looks like the stem going through the center of the leaf there, or the vein or whatever. Let me make that white like the background. Okay, and then maybe a couple of these here. This might be a little too thick, so I'll bring that in a little bit. This might need a little bit of thickness added, so let me adjust that as well. Maybe bring these down a bit further. And then I'll bring some on to the other side. I'll flip those the other direction. Let's flip that again and see if it looks better. Does it look better that way? Do these look better that way? Okay. I'm just going to go with that. That just may be too much to tell. Alright, maybe we'll go with that for now. So these are just white shapes on top of the black. So I actually want to cut these out so that they aren't just these empty shapes on top covering up this shape. I want it to actually be part of the shape. So I'm going to take all of these white pieces and I'm going to use Pathfinder to unite them. Okay, so now they're one piece, and then I'll use Pathfinder to subtract it out of this letter S. So I'm going to select the letter S and those white pieces in front, and then hit minus front, and it subtracted that. Okay. Let's do that again. I had the text grouped with the letter S, so it cut that out actually. So I don't want to do that. All right, so we tried it again, and so now this is all one object. That's okay. I'm not super happy with it, but we'll leave it at that for the sake of time and for the sake of this lecture. But yeah, don't be afraid to go back and make corrections, especially as you get feedback to make it a better logo.